Good morning. A little bit of back work this morning. I took yesterday off just to kind of reset, get a little bit more sleep. This is a little bit different workout if you're not used to it. This way you can focus on really digging into the traps. Start out a little light just to warm up. A little bit light just to warm up here. I'm not quite feeling the stretch that I want. There we go. When you feel yourself pull across your body like this, you feel the lat open up completely and stretch on the bone. And that's what you want. You want it to go completely extended and then roll out just a little bit more. You want to try to stop your bicep or anything else from engaging. Just use your lat only. So I'm tensioning it up at the full stretch. I tension it up, and then I pull down with my lat, and I try to keep my elbow out. Try not to let your body wander as much as possible, if that makes sense. Gonna go over here to the other side. You know what? I don't even need this thing. I can just do it kneeling. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing a variation of a lat workout that gets a little deeper into the lat than normal. It's a little unconventional, but I picked it up from a lot of guys that are pro bodybuilders that they do this because of further development. It's where you completely open up the lat, but you don't just open up, you actually overextend it so you get the full range, and then you pull like across your face and down towards your hip. So it's here and down, tuck, squeeze. Try not to let your body wander too much. So you're getting the full stretch every single time. I definitely feel it. Keeps your bicep and stuff out of it. Keeps your other body parts from engaging. If you don't get the full stretch, you just turn your body a little bit more away from it, it'll stretch further. Yeah, I feel it for sure. Feel the blood moving into the area. You can feel it tightening up. Yeah, feel it tightening up. I feel like that's too much of my rear delt and not so much. Maybe I need to stretch a little more. There we go. Need to go down more. Turn my body out of here more. There. It feels better. Or maybe straighten up more. keep trying to lift this arm up, which is cheating, and it's moving more to the rear delt than it is the traps. I try to feel the engagement with the bottom, like as I go up and I stretch completely and I get here, I try to kind of lean in just a hair, squeeze that trap, and then pull down to make sure the engagement's there. But I feel like I'm also cheating a little bit because I'm partially feeling it in the rear delt, and I shouldn't do that. So maybe I need to go out further. More of a stretch. Okay. All right, that feels better. Actually, I probably leave it there. Still doing it. I'm doing something wrong here. I'm not feeling it right. Maybe I need to come more this way. There. Right off the bottom. There we go. There we go. Okay. That looks better. If you got any questions, you can ask it on here as well. You know, this is first and foremost an automotive channel, but I just decided to share my health journey along the way. All right, those were 2 good warm-up sets. Now, you know what? I'm going to try to turn into it. I wonder if I turn into it. If I stay on the same side. Actually, I'm going to try to stay on the same side. See how that works. Might work better instead of going across. So I just did this one, which was across. So that means I got to do this one, which is same side. So if I'm going to do same side, then I got to lean in a hair. Yeah, I feel that engagement right there immediately. So same side, a little bit of an angle. Yeah, that's it right there. That's it. But I want more stretch. There we go. That's the ticket. You got to do it that way. You got to do it on the same side instead of. I thought it was crossbody, but it was getting too much rear delt. Crossbody was just way too much rear delt and not enough trap. And you got to really make sure you get out far enough to stretch, because this isn't an extremely tall Smith machine. So you want the arm to be out as far as possible, and then lean in just a hair and then pull down to your side. You feel that engagement all the way. Oh yeah. This is a good workout right here. You could literally burn yourself out on this. Just pumping as much blood in that area as possible. Feels nice. Feels real nice. All right, got to mix the weights up here a little bit. All right. $10, $20, $30, $40. So I had 40 on there. It's 35. That's 45. It's 35. That's 45. Let's try that. See how that works. That works very, very well. Very well. Seems to be working like it's supposed to. So if I go put 5 more pounds on each side, make it 50. Good morning. Are they going to junk? Yesterday's 2.4 bad head gasket or send the auction to what dealers? We don't know yet. We don't know what the general manager wants to do. We're still waiting. Ultimately, it's his decision. It is displayed to a customer when you buy a car that's like a cheap car like that. You can't warranty that. You got to do things within reason. A lot of times when people trade vehicles in, they hide stuff and you don't get to see it right away until it's been driven for a while. And dealers don't have time to sit and drive vehicles for miles and miles and miles to make sure that they're in tip-top shape. So they take them in, they look over the safety stuff, they say, hey, this is a cheap car. Hopefully it doesn't bite the next customer that buys it, but you're buying this vehicle as is. They may tell them, hey, sorry, you know, we sold you a $5,000 vehicle. It was as is. We didn't know these problems were going to pop up. We tried to help you the best we could, but unfortunately it's on you. And that's the risk you take when you buy an as-is vehicle that's really cheap with no warranty, you know. But also at the same time, some states have rules to where you have to help the customer. So in this situation, they have to help the customer. Okay. Just got the bloods in the lats now. So they're gonna have to help the customer regardless. It's kind of like, good morning. It's kind of like they can't get away from it, they can't avoid it, they have to do it, but it's a matter of how they help them. They may just trade them out and put them in a different vehicle. Okay, I'm going to do a little rear delt action here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is a crossover rear delt workout. Appreciate that, Paul. Trying anyway. So it's arms out in front of you like this. Cross over and hold. I'm a little too close. Hold. This one is not a heavy weighted workout. Especially if you have a Smith machine with a cable crossover system like this, you are not going to get heavy weight on it. You're going to wear yourself out. Do me a favor and not charge me? They may ask for some help in a certain area, but they don't ask to not be charged. They have to be charged. Trust me, I'm going to find a way to charge them one way or another. They're getting charged. I can tell you that. They are getting charged, 100%. Yeah, I don't. They've never done that to me, honestly. So I can't really say, you know, that I've ever had that problem. Haven't lost any weight the last 3 or 4 days. I've been trying to increase the calories to the point where I can focus more on muscle building. And then this weekend, I'm going back into dropping the weight. I want to be at least another 10 pounds by the end of the week. And then next weekend on my birthday, I want to hit a PR on a lat pull down. I'm going to try to do a 210 pounds strict on lat pull down with no cheating, no nothing. See if I can set a goal out for myself a couple months ago, if you guys remember. And I said I want to hit 210 on the lat pull down 10 times without cheating, like very as clean as I possibly can. And I've been training for that because my birthday's next Saturday, and I want to hit that PR either on my birthday or next weekend. Well, that felt great. That felt great. It almost felt like I started with a little bit too much weight. Awesome channel. One more heaven. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to be as real as I can. I want to make the majority of it, you know, automotive content, but I have a life as well, and I'd rather not hide that from you guys, and also not make, you know, 4 different channels, because not everybody wants to hear about Rich's morning. That's fine. And then if they don't want to hear, they don't tune in. But I have automotive stuff that's already pre-recorded that's releasing anyway, so you can wait for that. I was waiting about 60 seconds in between, but I was watching a guy talk about the science behind why you shouldn't do that, why you should wait like at least 1.5 to 2 minutes. Because when you wait 60 seconds in between sets, your heart rate is up and you're working more of a muscle type cardio situation, and not so much getting the maximum benefit out of the blood getting into the muscle, kind of doing its thing, transporting nutrients back and forth, and then giving your body a chance to rest and then hitting it again. 60 seconds in between leaves you in too high of a cardio state, and you really don't get that hypertrophy that you're looking for. So I'm trying to do like 1.5 to 2 minutes in between sets if I can. This feels good, man. I don't know if I'm going to change this weight, because you don't want to go super heavy on this, but on this I feel it from all the way from the bottom all the way back. The rear delts are just firing like crazy right now. And it's hard to get 10. I think I'm going back too far. They don't recommend overextending on this. A nice pause and then a release. Okay, all right. Woo! I'm not going to get that many sets of this, or I'm going to have to go lighter. And I'm not going to get that many sets. That feels good. It feels real good. It's just fire in the back of the shoulders everywhere in that rear delt area. Newport Beach, California. Oh, so jealous. Thought, just my opinion, thought not a critic, but what about GLP, Ozempic, Wegovy to add to your weight loss routine? Rob, how long have you been here? I'm just curious. How long have you been on the channel? I'll answer that question. Trust me, I'm not avoiding it. I just want to know how long you've been here. Jeez. Old school strongman. Yeah, I try, man. I mean, I try to keep it as old school as possible, but with some new school touch added to it. Well, I'm not sure if you heard my question, Rob, but I am on a appetite suppressant. I am on a weight loss drug. That's how I've lost the weight that I've lost so far, to help suppress my appetite. It's not really working as good anymore because I've been on it for 5 months. But I am, especially in the community chats when people ask me specific questions like, what am I doing to lose the weight? I let them know the doctor has put me on 200 milligrams of test a week and 37.5 milligrams, which is the max dosage of phentermine, which is the old school drug back in the day called fen-phen. It's not working as good as it did, but it's still working, so I'm still working the process. I didn't have an appetite at all before, but it took months and months and months for me to regain my appetite. And they have a booster for it, but I'm not really interested in taking the booster until the doctor says, nah, I think you should, because I'm still slowly losing. But I'm in the phase of trying to build more muscle now because I've lost so much weight so fast that the skin started to get real loose, and I don't really like that. Okay. Here we go. Okay, that's it. That's it for that one. Now this one I'm going to do a little different. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this before, but it's like a face pull, but from the bottom. Down to the single digits and negatives this week. Missing my family in Florida. That's brutal. That is brutal. Florida, everybody was complaining down in Florida as well, saying that they can't handle this 50, 60 degree weather, that it's just not like them. They're having a real difficult time wearing jackets at 60 degrees. There we go. When I go forward all the way, my arms can't go anymore. I roll my shoulders out to get the rest of that, what they call it, scapula or whatever it's called. Oh man. This morning is definitely not going to be a heavyweight morning because I feel every bit of it. It's like if you picture how your traps come down and then that intersection where it attaches by the spine, I think it's called the scapula. If I'm not saying it correctly, I apologize. I'm not big into like all the muscle science like I am, but I'm not. That scapula part that attaches, that comes out where the traps come out, once you release your arms all the way forward and the traps and the rear delts aren't involved anymore, you have scapular retraction is what it's called. So right here my arms are all the way forward. I actually can do more. You let your shoulders roll forward let that scapula completely expand or stretch, and then when you pull here first. Don't pull with your arms yet off the bottom. It's pull with your scapula and then your arms. So not only are you working the targeted muscle that you're targeting, but you're actually getting your scapula involved as well. And it's a muscle that people typically don't ever think about working while they're working their back. It just kind of gets worked a little from time to time, especially when the people start to fatigue and they let their arms roll forward because they're getting tired. But if you purposely do it, when you do get fatigued during a workout, you're that much stronger and can push through it that much better. Okay. Okay. Good morning. Ay, ay, ay. I can't be on here a long time because we got stuff we got to get going this morning on, so I might only get like one more workout in after this, and then I got to boot, scoot, and boogie into the house. Little information for you guys. Morning, Texas. Ansel sent me what's called their BS200 Super Starter. You ain't never seen nothing like this. If you don't know what a Super Starter is, it's a low resistance. What do they call it? It's a low resistance capacitor. It uses very, very little energy to store a lot of energy. And it's a computer that's about this big. If you took your hand, like 1.5 times the length of your hand, and about the width of your hand, your 4 fingers, and about this thick, it's a computer that goes next to your battery and it attaches to the terminals, and it has a monitor inside it, and it monitors your battery level and its health, and it actually self-charges based on the input of the alternator. And when you go to start the vehicle, as soon as that computer starts to detect the load on the system, like you're about to go crank it, and as soon as it hits like a load, it sees the resistance going to the battery, it picks up and it does the starting for you basically on its own. The battery barely has to do anything, so the battery is not as taxed as it normally is and will last like substantially longer. So they sent me this computer lithium battery setup, and I hooked it in 2 days ago, and on my first start it was an immediate 440 amp because it was really cold and my battery's going bad. So it picked up and it started the truck for me and gave me a readout on how much it told, the exact battery level it dropped down to, and then it dropped from 100% charge down to like 90%, and then within like 15-20 seconds it had already charged itself all the way back up to full capacity. And then as I was driving, it was monitoring my battery's health, and it was actually helping the alternator put about 14.1, 14.2 volts back into the system, and still self-charging itself while it was still helping the alternator get the battery back up to full charge. Or if the battery depletes completely and it's got at least more than 5 volts, that system can still work, and you can actually go into the app and you go to starter, and on the bottom it says force start. You can click force start and it gives you everything that it's got for 10 seconds, and you get in there and you start that vehicle immediately, and it will actually boost your vehicle off just like a jump starter and then go right back into charging itself once the vehicle is started. You can charge it with a Type-C charger on your bench or run it out to the truck if you want while the vehicle's off.
or you can just let the charging system do it, and it's very little time. I would say in a 20-minute drive, that thing could probably be 100% charged. I've never seen anything like it before in my life. Never. It was crazy watching the graphing and stuff and watching how it worked and giving me a readout of what's going on. These companies are getting more and more sophisticated with the things that they're releasing to help you keep what's on your vehicle better than what it is from the factory. So I've never seen anything like it before. It's called the BS2000 Super Starter from Ansel. If you guys want to check it out, I'll leave the link down below in this video. If you want to check it out, man, I've never seen anything like it. And it's actually the first one that I've seen that actually has a heavier duty cable and clamp set up. It comes with an 8 AWG cable instead of the little small 12 ones that have been on a lot of these jump starters and stuff. One more on this, and I think that might be it. I don't know. Yeah, that's probably going to be it. 'Cause I got about 30 minutes before I got to get out of here. Let me load this up a little bit. Try that and see. Not trying to go too heavy. Working on more feeling the workout and getting used to it, because these are some new workouts that I'm not used to. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, I feel that right off the bottom. I definitely feel it. Feels good. Good morning, Rich. What's good about the contraption? Your car will not have a brownout, for example. Know your factory CarPlay turns on. It starts to glitch out. And it's caused by brownout. Huh? I've never even heard that. Learning something new all the time. I'll look into it. I'm interested in what these new terms and stuff are for sure. Let me get these heaters turned off. Well, new terms for me, I should say. It's called a super starter, smart starter, but it's called a super starter. There used to be something back in the day in Australia or whatever called a smart starter, but I think this one's called a super starter or something like that. And on the app that you download, it shows a picture of the battery, and it shows a picture of the starter. The starter is the super starter, and then the battery is obviously your battery health. I want to do one set of lat pull down before I go. But there, you know, it's a little pricey though. It's about the price of a jump pack, except it's 10 times better. And I see that they got bigger sizes, but I'm not sure that they're available to the public though. This is a BS 2000, but I see there are other sizes like what is it called? Like a BS 3000, and there's like a BS 4000. Okay, that was it. What's the news that you got? You're gonna be a daddy again. She's pregnant again. Damn it, boy. She's pregnant again. Can't keep that thing in your pants. You're being promoted at work. That's what the news is. What are you better? You're better paid now at the post office. Like are you a manager now? Like you weren't you like a night supervisor before? Get a better shift. Yeah, one of our guys just left. One of our porters just left. He got hired by American Airlines, and I think they flew him out to Texas to do his training as a stewardess. And he just posted a picture of himself in training with all these other people that are being trained to be stewardess. All right, come on, Jay. I got to get out. I'm waiting for you because I want to hear it. Transportation now, union protection and better benefits. Yeah, we just went union, so they're projecting mid-February that all the negotiations and stuff be done. I got a job offer to go to Chrysler to be a Cummins tech for $5 more an hour, but then I was like, man, I don't know if I want to learn a complete new brand, and their contract has to be negotiated in March. So you don't even know if if they're going to meet negotiations, or if they're going to just, the company's going to be like, we don't want to be union anymore. So I'm going to stay where I'm at. So that's where, congratulations, buddy, you deserve it. Marshmallow, just 3.6 Pentastar. Keep the oil changed, man. Keep the oil changed and the fluids changed. That's all I can tell you. There's no way to make that engine any more reliable than what it already is. That's pretty much it. All right. I got to get out of here. I have to get out of here. I got to go. Y'all be blessed. Take care. I might be back later tonight. If not, I will for sure be here in the morning. So, love y'all. Take care.